The school day was ending. Like ants leaving the nest, children poured from the classrooms. The silence was soon interrupted with what started slowly and quickly turned into a buzz that included many sounds: laughter, talking, the pat, pat, pat of tiny running shoes as they escaped to freedom, into the arms of loving parents waiting to chauffeur these tiny citizens to their next activity or home. In this sea of faces, I located my child. I waved to him as he said goodbye to teacher and mates. His look of bewilderment turned to smile as he made the next few steps toward a familiar vehicle and face. The click of his seat belt interrupted my inquiry into his learning of this day. Like most days, no secrets were to be disclosed. Certainly he was learning. The papers he carried and quickly discarded to the vehicle floor represented some learning. As we moved safely away from the school, my barrage of questions continued, trying to get a feeling for his mood, trying to understand how he felt about his day of learning. His mood seemed fine, but still, no secrets were revealed. As our journey continued, I asked which path we should take, directly home or toward home along the beach. Directly home usually meant an afternoon snack was first on the list. On this day, a drive by the beach was the decision. Just looking at the Pacific Ocean for many people offer a sense of peace. We were no different. Navigating through town, another turn put us on path. The ocean lie ahead. Continuing on, a peculiar sight caught our attention. The passenger train was not moving, but the engines could be heard. This was not a whistle stop. Usually the passenger train passed by in an obvious attempt to keep schedule. Schedule was out the window today. Something was wrong. As we approached the crossing, people were gathering. As our vehicle stepped over the tracks, I could see the train just ahead, still at a standstill about 100 yards ahead. A group of people were huddled around a yellow tarp, and there was a mangled bicycle nearby. I paused for a moment, trying to recognize the bicycle. I had no clue. I wanted to linger, but my son suggested we continue on. Passing by the sea, my son stretched to get a view. It was still blue as the afternoon wind added texture to the approaching waves. I took note of the conditions, but truly my mind was on the recent railroad crossing event. The bicycle was the clue I could not figure out. Glimpses of the sea between homes soon ended as we turned toward home. My son's afternoon snack marked the end of our time together. I returned to work in the garden, and he soon left to play with neighborhood friends. Later that evening, a call from a friend solved the mystery. The owner of that mangled bicycle was a friend from the beach. It was Brian who lay beneath the yellow tarp, surrounded by people, just off the railroad tracks today. Earlier in the day he was at the beach, and after seeing the quality of surf, he was returning home to retrieve his surfboard. Listening to his Walkman, he was unable to hear the approaching train. As he crossed the tracks, meeting with the oncoming train, his life was ended. Brian was one of us. He was from our beach. He had spent his life surfing and enjoying the sea. I admired his commitment to the surfing lifestyle. He traveled to Hawaii, Mexico, and Australia. He had spent several winters in Australia. I had surfed with him in Australia. For many days my consciousness was shaken. I felt as if I were looking down from above on our beach, our community, our surfing enclave. The surfing community felt this loss. Many people turned out for his memorial. Seeing these old faces brought a realization of how many years had been spent chasing the surf. Some faces brought back memories of distant days and great waves. The warmth and love of this group helped to ease the loss of Brian. Each day the pain grew smaller and more distant. On excellent days, a wave dedicated to Brian would stir that pain, bringing back memories of surf trips and how important this lifestyle was to all that shared it. Only the waves would help with the pain of loss, the water washing over us in the days that remain. As surfers, it is what we do. It is this connection that makes us mourn the loss of a friend like Brian.